Hi, I'm Heather. Thanks for joining the channel. Today we are doing a little fall winter bedding refresh. I've just had a simple white quilt over the top of this bed for a while, so I'm just ready to bring some warmth and color back into the room. So that is going to be our plan for the day. But just to start out, one thing that I want to mention is all of these are things I've had for 5 or 6 years. So I did not go out and buy a bunch of new blankets. Hopefully this just inspires you to do the same and to look around your house and utilize what you already have. And just kind of breathe new life into the space you have, and maybe love some things that you've had for a while. Kind of just to start out, I have a Nectar mattress. I've had it for about 5 or 6 years now. I've loved it and have had no problems with it. I recently also added in the Nectar mattress protector. As you can see, I've got this dog and another dog, and they have puked one too many times on my mattress, which is just gross. So I think while that is expensive, it was a worthwhile investment. I think $150. And that just gives me like the peace of mind to be able to run and get the vacuum cleaner and get the mess cleaned up as quickly as possible. So that has been also really good. I will say I've not noticed any issues with the mattress protector. Like some of them are very plasticky on the market, or like change the temperature of how your mattress feels. And I've had no issues with that. So recommend it if you are looking for one that is good quality. Again, a big investment. $150 is a lot of money, but it will hopefully help keep your mattress good for a lot longer. And then I've got my sheets on already as well. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in here and just straighten these out. So these are the moss green sheets from Parachute. Again, these are another investment. I've had these, I think, maybe close to 2 years now, maybe a year and a half. But I will say worthwhile. I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but my last set of sheets I kept probably like eight years. They were just super soft and had been washed so many times that like it was hard to give them up, but I think Hank bit holes in them, so they had to go. But these ones have been really nice. Again, it is an investment. It's expensive, but because I keep sheets for so long, I figured it'd be worth it. And the moss green is really beautiful. So those are the sheets we've got. So first we're going to go ahead and just pull up this like creamy white quilt. I'm gonna relocate Hank here. The dogs love to help with the bedding. Mostly they just love to not get down when I'm trying to make the bed, but helpful nonetheless. Good support if nothing else. This white quilt is just from Home Goods. I know they bring in lots every season, so you can kind of find the color that you like best. I originally had kind of like a waffle blanket on here in the past, but that one got kind of rough and gross, so this one's maybe a year or so old. And I enjoy that like you can find like white or more of a creamy color. The paint on my walls is actually a little more creamy white, so I just wanted to make sure it didn't clash too much. So that is what we have here. But again, use a simple layer that you have already. The next thing I'm going to be bringing in is another quilt. As I mentioned at the beginning, I've had most of these blankets for about 5 or 6 years, so I don't think they sell this anymore. But this came from Crate & Barrel, I believe. Yes, this is a Crate & Barrel quilt, 5 or 6 years old. So I think you can probably find something similar in color if you do feel interest in that, but this one's an old one. So what I'm doing is just adding that in, and then I'm going to go ahead and just, I've got the first piece folded down. I'm going to go ahead and fold it a second time. There at the top. Okay, so I've got quite a big white space here at the top going on. I've got a lot of pillows, so that is where all of those will sit in this setup. I'm going to go ahead and tuck in these blankets, and I will be right back. Just wanted to give another view of how this is looking so far. That was a full workout. I may have to invest in one of those quilt tuckers one of these days, because it's just a full workout when you have an upholstered bed. So speaking of this bed, this is also a Crate & Barrel, 5 or 6 years old. I don't think they sell this model anymore, but I have loved the kind of winged sides. So I definitely enjoy that style. Yeah, so that is what we've done. We, again, pulled this yellow blanket all the way up, folded it down a little bit, and then folded it another time. So that's where we're at here. Okay. Change directions here just so you could get a little bit of a better visual of the next steps. So what we're going to do here next is bring in a white duvet down towards the bottom here. I've got this already folded in thirds. So I'm just going to keep it that way and just pull that. So this is the side that you'd see when you walk into the room, so I want it to look a little better than the other side. I'm not as worried over there. So I've just pulled it just barely past where it would need to be tucked in fully. So we can kind of tuck that in next. Just like that. Okay, cool. And the dog's subtracting grass, so we're gonna clean those off. All right. So next thing I'm gonna add in is just my pillows. These are, again, the Parachute pillowcases in moss. One thing I do love about their options online is you can actually get a regular pillowcase or this little envelope style. I actually prefer the envelope. It's nice to not have the tails kind of dangling out when you're making your bed. And just looks a little bit more neat. So can I borrow this? Please. Okay, come right here. You're okay, sit down. So go ahead and put those in. I'm curious, how often do you all buy new pillows? These are getting probably a little old and about time for replacement. I'm curious if you guys have a rule or if you keep really super old pillows. Because I also tend to like them pretty flat. So next thing I'm doing is just adding in some top pillows. These cases came with the duvet, so those match. They're just a linen material. All right, the last pillows I'm adding are these velvety pillow covers from Tonic Living. I don't think they sell this color anymore. I think it was like a paprika or something like that. But they have a ton of really beautiful colors, so definitely worth checking out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add these in. And of course we'll chop them. Okay, so the last thing that I am going to be adding in is this little quilt or throw, I guess, from Polly and Bark. Again, another pretty old blanket, 5 or 6 years old. But we're just going to go ahead and drape it here on the edge while not disturbing Hank from his toys. You can still play, huh? Here you go. They have blankets like this at Walmart, though, all over the place. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. And any color would be super pretty with your kind of combination you've got going. So yeah, it just kind of brings a little bit of warmth. It's got a little fall vibe with the colors. It could also be like Christmassy with the red, white, and green. Okay, so that is it. Thank you for watching. I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel and come back to hang out with me again. And a couple things you can expect on the channel. I really enjoy building. I've not filmed a lot of the content in the past. I've mostly just taken photos for myself, just as progress pictures. So I hope to kind of take you along on those building projects in the future. I don't know if you noticed, I've got these kind of like mirrors on the corner as well. This room has been pretty plain for a really long time. And so we will be adding a couple more touches to this room. I'm going to be adding those behind the lamps, as well as a couple other projects in this room, just to warm it up and make it a cozy little place for, you know, relaxing after a long day at work. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a full reveal in 3, 2, 1.